This show is made possible by support from Landsharkz.ca. Visit them for all your coin and swag needs at www.landsharkz.ca. And by viewers like you. Thank you for your donations.
One last look at agility season, cache and release in the Caribou, and back to Jasper for more caching on this episode of Icenrye's Geocaching Video Zine. Hi there, and welcome to Icenrye's Geocaching Video Zine. I'm Icenrye, thanks for watching. If you're new to the show, welcome to the family. What this is myself, my co-host Roxy, and my camera operator Abel. We go caching, film it, throw it together a few hints, tips, and tricks, upload it to the internet so you can download and watch at your own leisure. If you're a regular viewer, thanks for sticking around. I appreciate your viewership. My website is Icenrye.com and my email address is geoicenrye@icenrye.com. So, what's new? Well, we're in the middle point of November here, and as of last weekend, we just had our final trial of the year, agility trial for Abel. And we started off this year way back in March with a bang, and we ended the year with the same way. Our last run of the year was a Masters Jumpers run, and Abel was outstanding. We actually went 2 for 8 on the weekend, and he had some beautiful runs, and of course, as the season ends, that's when he's running his best. So, oh well, we're going to hang out in the winter. We still have stuff we can work on. There's always room for improvement in different areas. So, we've got a bit of a shopping list of stuff we have to work on. However, I want to thank the 2 local clubs here in the Prince George area, Positive Steps and the Top Dog Club, who put on tons of trials throughout the year. This was by far our busiest trial season ever, and it was wonderful. And also, if you're a little south of Prince George, you guys down in Quesnel area, clear sailing, hey, you guys throw a great party. I can't wait till next July to go down and hang out with you guys again. So, yes, agility's finally done. You got the weave poles, the training poles put away for the season, and time to get on with other winter activities such as shoveling the driveway. But fortunately here in the Prince George area, our weather's been fairly mild. Some people still been able to get out and do some caching, and there's not a whole lot of snow. As a matter of fact, there's hardly any snow on the ground right now, which is good. Because, as much as I enjoy skiing and dog sledding, I have a week of vacation coming up, and I wouldn't mind getting a little bit of caching in. So what else has been going on? Well, last episode I was telling you about the cache and release events, and finally got around to getting the video together from the Williams Lake event, which was back in September. But oh, it was a fun event. It was personally my very first cache and release event, and I'd never been to one before. But what a great concept. So a group of us from Prince George headed down to Williams Lake, where they had just come out with a whole brand new bunch of caches, not even entered into the system yet. So we had to enter our coordinates the old-fashioned way into our GPS receivers manually, and then go out and looking. Now, unfortunately, there were a couple of minor problems, but oh well, that's all part of the sport. So we didn't quite find as many as we were hoping to, but it was an absolutely wonderful, great day of caching down in Williams Lake area. And I have to give a special shout out to Team Islanders. You guys rock, for hosting me on the weekend and being my chauffeur in the Williams Lake area. So we also had an event here in Prince George. Again, I got tons of footage, and stay tuned to an upcoming episode of the video podcast to see some great footage from the Prince George Cache and Release event. So in other news, I just got a care package from show sponsors Landsharkz. And guys, thank you for the coins. Coins? Did I mention coins? Well, for those of you who've been following me on Twitter, you saw that little tease I made about new coins. Stay tuned for further details. Well, guess what? I'm bringing back the iTunes Comment Coin Giveaway Contest. Now, if you're not sure how that works, it's really easy. Just go to the iTunes store, look up my video podcasts, either the standard def or the HD version, and leave a comment. Before every episode, I'll go through, grab a bunch of names, throw them in a hat, draw out a hat. If your name's drawn, hey, you're going to win some great coin prize packages from Landsharkz at landsharkz.ca. And again, Landsharkz guys, I really appreciate your continuing support of the show, and keep the coins coming, because you guys have got some great stuff. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, get your butt over to landsharkz.ca for all your coin and caching needs. They have some absolutely great stuff. So one last quick news note before we get on with the main event. I want to send out a special congratulations to the new board of members for the British Columbia Geocaching Association. They just had their votes actually just yesterday as of this taping, and it looks like they got some really good people in there running the show. And special shout out to Scruffster for being crazy enough to run for president and run again for president. Hey guys, we've got some really great people down there running the show, and all I can see is caching in the province of British Columbia going up to another level. So guys, congratulations, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll have links on my website. And if you're a cacher in British Columbia and not a member yet, consider joining the British Columbia Geocaching Association. It's our provincial voice to the government to help keep our sport on the main map of the province of British Columbia. And they have done a ton of work over this last year. Just check out the Blue Sky program. Anyways, that's enough for now. Let's get into some geocaching footage. So in our previous episode, I showed you a little bit of caching in Jasper National Park. It was a great weekend. It was nice and cool, beautiful time of the year to be out caching. And I had a ton of finds that weekend. So as I mentioned, I showed you some footage before and didn't quite get around to showing all of it, so I'm going to roll the rest of it here. So sit back and relax and enjoy Jasper Caching Part 2 on Icenrye's Geocaching Video Zine.
Sitting in a gazebo here in a park in Jasper where I've just found a cache called Sonny Anderson. And this is one of my favorite types of caches. Not so much the difficulty, it's just a film canister hidden in a fairly easy get at place. It's a spot that, as usual, never been here before, and I've been coming to Jasper for a very long time. And also, this cache is a tribute to someone. Sonny Anderson was a local person who was fairly popular who died tragically in a train accident at a very young age. And the neat thing about this cache is that it's located in a playground, but it's actually located in a spot recommended by a local service club. So what a fitting tribute to have someone dedicate a cache. Now, let's move on and see what else we can find here in Jasper. So I'm now headed out to a place called Pyramid Island here in Jasper, and I'm looking for a cache called Arvon's Cache. Now, Pyramid Lake, very popular spot. I always love to come up here. There's actually a little secluded spot just around the corner where a lot of tourists don't go, where I take able swimming on those warm days. Unfortunately, today isn't one of them, so kids are back in the van. They're staying nice and warm and dry. So I'm about 200 meters away from the cache. Yeah, we're about to cross the bridge onto the island, and there's a nice little interpretive trail that goes all the way around the island, and we'll check it out and see if we can find this little cache. All right, we're off and running. Well, I'm within meters of the cache site, but there's a ton of muggles around this place, so I'm just going to reach down here out of shot for a second, and I'm going to pour myself, brought my little soup thermos with me today, so I'm going to pour myself a little bowl of soup, have some lunch while I'm waiting for the muggles to go by. I'm not quite sure what type of soup it is. It was just something I threw together. Oh. Must be paper soup. Yeah, this is the actual cache. Now, I know I don't give away spoilers here. Saying to yourself, Icenrye, you're showing me the cache. Well, yeah, this is what you're looking for. But I haven't shown you how it's hidden. So, when you're in Jasper, head on over to Pyramid Island. It's absolutely gorgeous around here, even with all the tourists. And have yourself a bowl of soup. Well, here I am in Edson, the eastern terminus of my little caching excursion today. We started out as looking for a few caches in the park, turned into a full-blown power run. At last count, I'm up at about 25, 26 caches, and sunlight is starting to fade, and I still got all the caches that are on the westbound lane of the Trans-Canada, heading back towards Jasper. Behind me, you see a former Canadian fighter plane. I've driven past this plane a ton of times here in Edson, but as usual, I'm always, in a hurry getting somewhere. So I finally decided to stop in and check it out. And wouldn't you know it, there's a cache nearby, or was a cache nearby. It had one of those little nano caches that you've seen on this show before. Hasn't been found in a few months, and it is definitely missing. So that's unfortunate, but it's a beautiful sight. Seeing one of those old airplanes. I used to live in an Air Force base where they use these old trainers, and see them up there flying every day. So it was about as far as east as I'm going. Time to head back into the van, head west, and hopefully we'll bag some more finds on the way back to the campsite, and that pretty much wraps it up for this little excursion. We'll catch up with you later.
So there you go, part 2 of my caching trip to Jasper. And man, that was a lot of fun. Did a ton of caching. Actually, once I got going on the actual cache run, I was just popping them off so quickly I didn't even have time to break out the camera. If you ever get a chance to go caching into Jasper area, just in the town alone, there's some really great caches. Make sure you check out a really good one. It's called Daps at Home. And needless to say, the cache is in the front yard of a cacher. And it's actually just 2 blocks from the home of a good friend of mine who happens to be a cacher herself. And as for the corridor, Highway 16 corridor between Jasper and I just went as far as Edson, there are tons of them. You can start off with Jasper, go all the way east, Edson, turn around, come all the way back, and just blow off a ton of caches. It is really, really fun. But that about wraps it up for this episode of Icenrye's Geocaching Video Scene. I hope you enjoyed. But as usual, just before we go, a couple of quick notes. First off, thanks again to show sponsor Landsharkz. Guys, the new coins look awesome, and I'm really looking forward to giving them away on the iTunes coin comment giveaway. And I mentioned earlier, get your butts over to iTunes, leave a comment. I'm going to throw the names in a hat, pull one out, and you can win a coin from landsharkz.ca. And also, special shout out to all my financial contributors. Guys, couldn't do the show without you. And if you'd like to donate, it's very easy. Just go to my website at Icenrye.com, and there you'll see a variety of options of how you can donate through PayPal. You can make monthly contributions, or you can make a one-time random donation. And guys, anything you can contribute goes directly to the show, and I really do thank you for your continuing contributions. But in the meantime, in between time, that's it. Another episode of Icenrye's Geocaching Video Scene. I hope you enjoyed. So until the next episode, cache on.